I've had a massive goal for years to be a millionaire. Millionaire Case Study is really a passion project. It's something that I wish existed, but I haven't found it. So it's the first story following an entrepreneur from zero to his first million as it's happening. That's what it's all about. This is it, Jason. First ever in-field footage for Millionaire Case Study, episode 54. I'm pumped. I'm going to EntreCon. It's an entrepreneurship event, expecting about 500 people is what I'm hearing. Gary Vaynerchuk's the keynote, which is, I think, actually quite fitting for this episode to be my debut episode of like the footage of what's actually happening right now, because Gary has had such an influence on my entrepreneurial journey, and it's kind of cool to have him in episode 54. What is up, snappy happy people? What is up, snappy happy people? I am super pumped, and here's why. We got Jason right here, shooting the very first in-field footage for Millionaire Case Study, episode 54. $1 million thing is huge because I'm going after a lifelong goal. When I was 15, I made the goal to make $1 million before I'm 30. Well, I'm 30 on November 1st. That's what made me, even the timeline of running out of time, or like even that running out is what made me start Millionaire Case Study a year ago. And I realized, holy cow, I'm doing it. I'm like, dude, if I'm really gonna do it, and it freaking happens, and I like, do I really believe I'm gonna do it? Because if I do, I mean, it starts with the belief. You have to believe you actually can. And if I really believe I can, then why not document it? And 30 is gonna come fast, so why not do it now? Because you're not, like, you can't freaking take that back. You can't, like, once that window is missed, it's missed. And what I love about Millionaire Case Study is I've been doing it from the very freaking beginning when I got my first client. I love it also as a way to show myself the commitment that I literally believe it can be done, and I'm serious. And when you can do that, to me, it like shows the universe you're serious, and it will let the universe come help you now because you're serious. Because once you get clear, once the universe is clear on what you actually want based on your actions, then things just seem to open up. One thing that pops out to me is Jim Carrey. I freaking love Jim Carrey. He's one of the most, like, I just resonated with him, like, growing up watching his movies and videos. And I remember watching an interview of him with Oprah.
Obviously you knew somewhere inside yourself that you were destined to be famous, because I think it's really a marvelous thing, that visualization thing you did, that you used to go up on Mulholland Drive and park
every night
and visualize seeing yourself as...
Yeah, I would visualize,
This is when you were broke and poor.
You know, right, having directors interested in me and people that I respected. I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe, and I dated it Thanksgiving 1995, and I put it in my wallet and I kept it there, and it deteriorated and stuff, but then just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on, I think it was Dumb and Dumber, maybe.
Dumb and Dumber, yeah.
Yeah.
So you visualize yourself like...
Yeah.
Visualization works if you work hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You can't just visualize and then, you know, go eat a sandwich.
And he made it happen. I love that story. It fires me up. It shows me that visualization actually works, and so many people use visualization. Michael Jordan uses visualization. Michael Phelps used visualization like they always talk about when they won the thing, whatever they won. That wasn't the first time they won it. They won it in their head first. They literally visualized it happening. The hardest thing with getting into social media or any of this stuff was actually just putting myself out there for the first time. Like, when I first got on Facebook, for years actually, I was afraid to even put a profile picture of myself. Do you remember this? I don't know. Like, it was a picture of Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah, I was afraid to show me. And I was gonna have a blog, and guess what the blog was called? Or guess what the writer's name was on the blog? Cobbs. Cobbs was my alias. So I didn't put myself out there. That's why my social media company is called Cobbs Media, because I want to remember that space of where I came from. I own a social media management company. So Cobbs Media is a company where we actually create the content for our clients and post it for them. It's getting people clear on who they are, what they stand for, what they believe in, and creating content around that consistently, multiple times a day, every single day, 7 days a week. Something that people might ask is, how do you know how to do it? Like, have you ever managed somebody's social media? No? But this is what I'll tell you. When you get your first client, you freaking figure it out really fast. A lot faster than you would when you have all the time in the world. When I wrote my book, the reason I wrote it so fast is I had a date set, and I told my audience that something big was coming, and I set the date. The reason I was even successful after quitting my day job is because I moved 2 states over and the bridge was burned. You know, when you have to figure it out, that's when you generally do it. But who knows? Who knows how long it would have taken if I didn't sell it first and build it second. So, huge thing. So that's how I've done everything. That's how I did my 50-mile ultramarathon. How did I prepare for it? I signed up for a 50-mile ultramarathon. I wasn't in the shape to do it, but because I signed up, I had to figure it out, you know? My morning routine used to be so off. Now, usually I get up, get my coffee started. I like to just sit and relax with my coffee and then meditate. Typically, get my meditation in early. And then somewhere in there, I'll do some form of exercise. Right now, I'm preparing for a half marathon that's actually going to be up here in Riverton. Kind of my workout routine right now is getting into a little bit of jogging just to prepare for that half marathon. So yeah, it's just doing that. It's basically slowing down and taking care of me first, because I know if I get clear with me and I'm solid in the morning, then it just makes the whole day better. Like, you win the morning, you win the day. Just came up to Salt Lake, Riverton specifically. When I do, I always like to connect with my family. Like, Violet just randomly messaged me last night and said, "Hey, I noticed you're in town. Do you want to go jogging?" I'm like, "Perfect. Yeah, I do," because I'm going to be jogging in the morning anyway.
He always wanted to go for the next best thing. Like, he was just determined to see what he could do better. He always wanted to just do something different. It was like he always knew that there was something out there that was more, that there was just more, and he felt it, and he was determined to go after it. I see that he's just determined to keep his word. He's determined to get up every single day and just go after really what he wants, and he's striving for that. I think that it's always been showing up in his life. And like a lot of us, how we have fear about being seen. And just like him and I were discussing earlier, he had a fear of being seen for quite a while. Then he finally just decided that this is what he really wants, and so he was able to just get out there and show himself and put himself out there and show people what he's made of. even if you have these fearful moments in your life where you're just not sure.
We're going to an event called Utah Entrecon, and we're going to go see our boy Gary Vee. Gary's had an influence on my life, I'd say, in a major way, more than any other entrepreneur that I've ever followed. Yesterday we went to this event, and while we were there, I actually did an announcement for an event that I'll be keynoting in San Diego called Amplify. You can find it by going to calvinwayman.com/amplify. But yeah, did an announcement through Facebook Live. Hung out with a few people at the event. Connected with this guy Connor that flew from Denver. We just recently met. He wanted to come meet me. Had a great dinner with him, and was just in and out of the conference. Actually, didn't really sit down on it too long. Just doing phone calls, coaching calls, and stuff like that. I have a few business coaching clients that have come to me in different aspects, but yeah, they're usually people that are starting a business and trying to do the same thing that I've done over the last 12 months. And
Calvin, man, that group coaching call went so well. Everybody was sharing such deep whys and getting really into it. And I had 10 people on the call, and just thank you because you got me in a really good state right before the call. And I don't know, it was awesome. I feel like I'm in the right spot. So thank you so much.
I love Frankie. It's humbling and amazing at the same time to just see, knowing that you have a little piece in it, and being able to say, look, I've done it, I got this result, do this, and then they just giving them the confidence to take that step, that action, and then they get the result out of it. It's just super, super satisfying. And you know, this is actually something I want to have in Millionaire case studies, like kind of the quiet thoughts that aren't really talked about and aren't ever actually seen. I mean, a lot of good happened the last few days, getting to connect with amazing people, connecting with Connor, connecting with Gary Vaynerchuk, like building with brand building, but the results never happen as fast as you want. And when it does, when that happens, it's so easy to start questioning everything. Questioning if you're good enough, questioning if the results that you're after are really going to happen, questioning if you're going to stay in business or get out of business. Should you be focusing on something else? What are you doing wrong? Are you good enough? Do you deserve this? Like, all of those thoughts are heavy. And that's the biggest piece that I want to share in this, because I remember when I was first getting started and I would hit these walls, I thought I was the only one. I was the only one that ever had these thoughts or hit these big hiccups. And these guys are super successful, so of course they just went straight up. But it's not that way, I've found. Certainly not that way for me. It's definitely been a roller coaster ride. And I guess the only thing I can hope for is that that roller coaster ride has a upward projection on average. But when you're in it, it doesn't feel that way. And there's still the thoughts of anxiety or even depression or self-doubt. And that's part of this journey that I'm on right now, is keeping the confidence enough to, like, when all this happens and you're like, and you get in that self-doubt, what I've had to realize is stopping, like, instead of just comparing, like, from where you are to where you want to go, you're like, man, I'm not there yet. I don't have 50,000 followers on Instagram yet, or I don't have $100,000 a month agency, or whatever. It's hard to get in self-doubt mode. It's always a good thing to pause and see where you were like 6 months or a year ago, and see how far you actually have come. What I've been learning is what makes somebody become who they are, like what makes them stick out in social media or in popularity more, and that is getting as close as you can to being you, you know, and showing that as much as possible. And that can be scary, you know, because maybe there's parts of us we don't want people to see. The game of entrepreneurship doesn't always happen the way you think it should or you want it to, and you're afraid to show that because maybe you won't get love from someone, or maybe it'll kill your popularity. I mean, just in full transparency, even this, like this episode 54, makes me a little nervous, because for the first time, at least in the deepest way, it's showing what I do and who I am. How do you stand out? Well, I have the belief that everybody is a snowflake. And what I mean by that is everybody's already different. So how do you stand out from somebody else? Be you. So what I've learned is what makes Gary Vee Gary Vee, what makes Ty Lopez Ty Lopez, what makes Grant Cardone Grant Cardone, what makes Casey Neistat Casey Neistat, what makes Ellen Ellen, what makes Oprah Oprah is there's not Ellen number 2, there's not Oprah number 2, there's not Dan Bilzerian number 2. And the reason there's not a second one is they're being as close to their genuine self as possible. And I'm not there even. I'm not close. I've been learning, like, I'm a mashup right now. I'm a mashup of Gary Vee, of Grant Cardone, and the people that I follow, and a piece of me. And so what I'm learning is to be okay and feel safe with peeling back those layers and taking more clothes off and being more naked and being okay being naked in front of people. But that's what I've learned. If you're gonna show up and stand out, it's so freaking cliche, but it's true. Be you, like be yourself, be thyself. And if you do that, you just can't help but stand out. I'm Calvin Wayman, live here in the beautiful northern Arizona, from Salt Lake City, Utah, and for several years I was working an employee job, completely unfulfilled, dissatisfied, feeling like my soul was being crushed and dying because I wasn't doing my own thing. And then finally mustered up enough courage that I just one day quit my day job, and that was 2 years ago. Quit my day job to pursue my dream of working for myself and just being the entrepreneur that I always wanted to be. In the very least, give myself a chance to go after it. About a year ago, I started a social media management agency. That's what I run now. I own Cobb's Media. If you think you can do it, go after it. Whether you know exactly how you can do it or not, but if you just have a little bit of belief. I started my company before I knew how. And so just looking for ways to always stretch myself, from anything to doing cold showers, something I hate, to always remind me that that's where the growth happens, always on the outer edge of your comfort zone, to, again, door-to-door sales, the 50, starting my business, selling something I haven't even done before so that it forces myself to figure it out and create it. Millionaire case study. Never had a show like this before, but just doing it to put myself out there, putting my own personal brand on social media and building it just to do it. I'm a regular dude going after it and just saying yes first and figguring it out later. It's not always the most comforting, it doesn't feel the best, but it's where I've noticed the most growth. So just a regular guy on a journey. That's me. If there's one thing that I want to leave you, the viewer, anybody watching this, is the life that you actually want to create, when you let yourself just dream, and this is what I want to represent, the idea that this is possible, and it's this. If you can dream it, if it's something that you actually want, this is all proof that whatever your dream is, you can fucking do it. In its simplest terms.